And we are live, pal, once again on the same day with this is a Team Plasma Division battle. We have Sordon with the San Antonio's Diles and Yoki Biz with the Atlanta Thrashers. Sordon with the Mr. Mike. So now I got to go through all the mons that I guessed incorrectly. So a Torterra's on the team that I wasn't guessing. Torterra and Primarina and Gengar in place of Mr. Rhyme. And on Yogi's team, we have the Arbok. That's fun. Yeah. Arbok and Aromatisse. Yeah. So this should be an interesting game here. We got Noivern and Metagross. And Mega Manectric and Mr. Rhyme. So, this is an interesting game here. Now, Noivern is a great Tailwind user. You know, lacks power but has a lot of speed. But Mega Manectric will outspeed it. So, an Electro Web. I'd have to just wonder, like, what? Like, an Electro Web will outspeed. Well, we got the protect there. It will outspeed Noivern. Yeah, Tailwind. Would have outsped Noivern and got a. We got Iron here. That's going to be rough. Right onto the Focus Sash. I guess it would have outsped and. You get a Freeze Dry. Freeze Dry. Mr. Rhyme is one of his best moves, but never mind. It's going to be a Trick Room team. That is a good play from Sordon. You know, instead of fighting speed with speed, you fight it with Trick Room. Yogi's going to be definitely on the back foot here. Mega Manectric, though, is pretty fast. Like, that is one negative, but the Tailwind's up, so it doesn't really matter that much. So, because everything's faster. So we have a potential Overheat coming their way. We have a potential Freeze Dry or an Ice Beam coming the way of the Noivern. And that should be... So yeah, Trick Room. Mouse Hold. Potentially bringing in some Friend Guard shenanigans to help with the defense there of Mega Manectric, which isn't the most defensive mon out there. But not a smart move there by Yogi. Not Mega Evolving just yet, so he can that. Ooh, but Overheat's going to be tough. It's got less defenses, and then the Metagross is just, fried to a crisp there. Feeling hot, hot, hot. And now what would be a good Trick Room mon, but they have the Tailwind, so hold on. Even with Tailwind, can Aromatisse still? I think Aromatisse still outslows Mega Manectric, despite the Tailwind, because it's got like 29 base speed. With the Mouse Hold. This is the second Mouse Hold I've seen today. A very popular mon. We get the Dazzling Gleam, doing decent damage, especially to Mouse Hold, which you got the crit. And Volt Switch, getting at a dodge, reapplying, getting rid of those stat drops there. Super Fang. Okay, that gets the Mouse Hold down. So I think a Dazzling Gleam. Dazzling Gleam could knock out both Mr. Rhyme and Mouse Hold if Mr. Rhyme doesn't have Fake Out. Noivern stalling out those Trick Room moves, and then Mr. Rhyme with the Fake Out. And a taunt. So follow me and taunt. both great moves there on the mouse hold. So, like, one turn of Trick Room left. I think Tailwind's done. So, Aromatisse is definitely going to outslow everything. So, the last time was a crit. That's what took down Mouse Hold so low. But yeah, Mouse Hold is done, and now we are back to no Trick Room on the field. And the Tailwind is back up. But again, like, does Aromatisse outspeed Mr. Rhyme and Trick Room? Or did Mr. Rhyme and Tailwind? Because it definitely doesn't outspeed Manectric. But Aromatisse is pretty bulky. Yeah, it's close to my bedtime. Draco Meteor with the miss. That is a devastating miss. Manectric with the Snarl, getting rid of that some of that special attack there on both the Aromatisse and the Noivern. Oh, Noivern outspeeding. Okay, that surprised me. Even in Tailwind, like, that's a slow mon. But granted, Mr. Rhyme could have been slow too. We were just doing the battle where there was Apache against Dino, and there was an Iron Ball Mr. Rhyme, and maybe that could have been an Iron Ball Mr. Rhyme. So, but now we have Annihilate, a beast. And Rotom. If there's one thing we know about Rotom, especially washing machines, flames spit out from them. Is that a second miss? Jeez Louise. That is awful. That is like, oh, that sucks. The level of suck that is for the double Draco miss. If it isn't 50, if it isn't 100% accurate, it's 50% accurate. Well, what do you do in this besides, like, tear your hair out? God, how do you win this? I think I would get Noivern out. Like, that's a tough one. Yeah, Will-O-Wisp, that's going to be a big help, unless there's a Lumberry. But that's a massive help. Because there's two down on the field here. Yeah, Lumberry, yeah. But there's no Volt Switch with the Protect. And a Bulk Up. Now, another Will-O-Wisp can come... ooh, yeah, that's going to be tough. Another Will-O-Wisp can come the way of Annihilate. We know all of Noivern's moves here. Yeah. And yeah, I don't know. Oh, a crit. I'm guessing another Tailwind's coming up. Yeah. So that should help a little bit. I'm not sure, even still with the Aromatisse, and yeah, there's another Protect there. The Aromatisse is going to be tough because, again, like, now that I know of Iron Ball Mr. Rhyme and that being a set, that's an interesting option because now we know for sure how fast Aromatisse is. Because Aromatisse can do some good damage. Or could do some potential here. Draco Meteor, I don't know. If it gets a crit, maybe that could help. Oh, it lives on 2! It lives on like 2% at least. But you gotta look at the positives here. Like, maybe a Drain Punch is coming this way to Aromatisse. Oh. A Rage Fist. It's gonna be a base 50 Rage Fist, but with a Bulk Up. So what does Rotom have? Does it have something? Because this is going to be tough, because, like, at least in one of the leagues I'm using Annihilate with, I like to run just max HP, max special defense, Bulk Up. And then, like, Annihilate survives some wacky shit. some wacky shenanigans here. Ooh, a protect there. Everyone's protecting. I guess this also potentially stalls out those Tailwind turns. And there's one turn of Tailwind left. And with Annihilate, we get Protect, Bulk Up, Rage Fist, and I don't know, and usually, like, I've used Drain Punch to get some health back, but we haven't seen the last move there on Annihilate. Helping Hand. This could be interesting. Is this a discharge? A Hydro Pump. Oh, good damage, but it might not be enough. And now that's a Life Orb Rotom, and now we have the Snarl. So that brings down both the special defense, and it powers up Rage Fist to a 100 base power. And now there's no more Tailwind. And while Annihilate is faster, like in base speed, I personally don't run Annihilate very fast, like with no EVs at all in speed. So I think Manectric, I guess there's no, unless he has Discharge or something. You got the Volt Switch down to 7% and the Rage Fist. Annihilate is faster here and gets that knockout on the Rotom. 2 devastating Draco misses. Like that is unfortunate. Doesn't even begin to describe those circumstances. But that's why it's best of 3. And it is devastating, but you try to come, because now, I mean, technically speaking, the odds that Draco Meteor is going to miss again are astronomically low. So you got to go in thinking with that pot. It's almost like if the best person to be on a plane with is someone who's been in a plane wreck and survived, because they're not getting in 2 plane wrecks. So, or someone who gets struck by lightning, you know, that's the guy you want to be around in a lightning storm. So yeah, it's tough, but like, you know, technically it should work out. Like maybe everything will work out. You know, you gotta think positive. What do you go in here? I definitely think like they do have to get Mega Metagross to Mega Evolve here, because that, like, you have a lot more bulk. You know, a real Christmas ham of a Mon there. So you're going back out to the same duo before, and we're going to get Manectric and Mousehole. So I think there's still concern over the Mega Evolving. And it's all like a game of chicken. It's like the Charizard Frostlass matchup where you're playing a game of chicken against someone. We got the Mega Evolution coming out immediately. So does the Intimidate go off first? Okay, it does. Wait, does the okay, hold on. Okay, protect. I'm guessing Metagross protects here as well. Yes. Okay, that's perfect. Ooh, gee, that's a bunch of beef there. That's a massive hit there for a Volt Switch. Mega Manectric very underrated in its power. I also like Sordon's team where there's a lot of focus on your high non-megas. I was going to say, if that missed again, Jiminy Christmas. You got your megas like this. Because, like, I'm going to go through that team there. Because it's got, like, 18, your 18-pointer is Mousehold, 17 is Nihilife, 16 is Primarina, 12 Scizor. The only mega on the team is Manectric. And that saves up for some, like, Altaria has used, Houndoom has used. Torterra, I'm a little iffy on Torterra. But it's got Wide Guard, so that's good. Mr. Rhyme, you know, we know what a monster that is. Very, very undervalued. So we got the Tailwind and Mega Metagross. They call it Metagross because that... I was going to say because that damage is gross, but that was... Mousehold took that like a champ. And Moonblast, the Tailwind's up, but Primarina... getting that Moonblast off. God, okay, what's that? A Life Orb there, too. What's that, what was that card? What's that TV show? Like, one of these days, to the moon! You know, that's when spousal abuse was funny back in the 50s. Or in the, yeah. Which is messed up. So we also know, all of, I think we know all of, like, I think there's still one move that hasn't been revealed on, like, such a defensive mon there. But there it is, there's Discharge, and that takes out the Mousehold and paralyzes the Jeez Louise. High risk, high reward. They couldn't do that to the Primarina, I guess. At least we won't know if Draco Meteor misses or not. So that's the, so yeah, it's one down on each team, but of course, like, sadly, we have a paralyzed Metagross who I could see I could see some snarls coming out from that Nectar. Go with the Protect. Maybe another Discharge is coming. There's no Lightning Rod either, so this will do at least some damage. Yeah, just about 21%. It's not so bad. The Life Orb. But that Snarl, that's such a devastating move here on Manectric with the, especially now that Metagross is compromised here with its paralysis. The Tailwind is up, so it's not outspeeding Manectric. But what can this Metagross do? Torterra comes in. Hydro Pump. And that's a crit. That is definitely a crit there with the Snarl. Now, finally some luck. You know, very handy luck to have. Psychic Fangs. And that does 35% health. But Torterra is going to be hitting that. Is not going to take those discharges really well. Or actually, Torterra's going to take it very well. But I guess it all depends on who's in the back for Yogi here. Because it should still outspeed both of them. But, like, yeah. Rotom goes for Protect. Hopefully there's no paralysis this turn. Ice Punch. Nice. The Yash Berry's there, and that down to 25. A very good item to have. Believe me. the Life Dew, the final move revealed for Primarina. But there's no Ice Punch, and Metagross is still faster, no matter what. Like, it's still faster, and that Ice Punch is going to wreak havoc. Well, no, the Tailwind's not up, so I don't think it outspeeds. I think it might outspeed Torterra, but I don't think it outspeeds. Interesting. I think this maybe a Hydro Pump. A Hydro Pump could come in the way of Torterra. We'll have to see, but again, that's a okay. Yeah, Discharge, and that doesn't affect the Torterra, and that's going to take some nice grass damage. And Sordon, it's hammer time. The Wood Hammer takes out the Rotom, and now who is the last mon here? Hopefully it's not Arbok. If it's Garchomp, that could be very yes and no. Because like Primarina just protected, and like Primarina is it's not as strong on the physical side. Oh, and here comes Aromatisse. I wonder what Aromatisse can do here. Does Aromatisse pass the smell test in this battle? Wait, yes, yeah, exactly. My pun was proper. Wide guard, so Psychic Fangs. Oh, just doesn't get enough there for the Primarina. And the Hyper Voice is there. Wide. Is there a Dazzling Gleam on the way? Ooh, yes, there is. Now, hopefully, with that Aromatisse, that's not the only move that that Yogi has. You know, Moonblast could be handy. Aromatisse doesn't get very much like for the coverage. It's a very good Trick Room mon, but like the coverage is lacking for that, I'd say. Moonblast from Primarina. To the moon! And Sordon gets the 2-0 victory here. And still lives on 1 HP, 1% left with the Life Orb. And that's all she wrote there, and I'll see you next time.